and we're going into home territory and stuff that's seen at home. And this is what the Naomi Watts one-hander that you saw. So tell us about this.
This is a film called Desperate Hour, and again, like my other film I'm going to review, it's more or less a one-hander with sort of cameos. So it's
Okay.
very much that sort of whole filmed in post-lockdown world.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
Naomi
gotcha.
Watts is a single mother. She's been bereaved in the last year. Her husband was killed tragically. She's been left with a teenage son who's a bit disaffected and a little bit shell shocked still from the loss of his father, with a much
Mm.
younger daughter. And the scene starts with her trying to persuade him to get up out of his room. He'd like semi barricaded his door so to stop her from going in, but she like pushes the barricade out of the way, goes and says that you really need to go to school. You know, you've got to get yourself up, and you know you've got to carry on with living. And so then she says, right, I'm going to go for a run. Your sister's gone to school. I'm going to go for a jog. I'm going to leave it up to you, but you should go to school. And then as she goes jogging into the woods. I don't know where it is. It looked like sort of Pacific Northwest type
Oh, in
sort of
America somewhere.
country. In America,
Mm-hmm.
North America, woods and a lots of trails. So yeah, she's off jogging basically, and she goes for this long sort of 5 miler into the woods. And then as she's jogging along, she notices that there's a lot of police cars pass her. And then when she's on the road, and then a bit later on, she hears sirens wailing away. And then her phone starts pinging like mad. And basically, there's a live shooter event at her son's school.
Oh, wow.
And the first part of the film is her basically trying to establish, did her son go or not? And
Oh.
then as the story unfolds, it's basically she has like the suspicion, could it be her son who is the cause of all this? Because
Oh.
a disaffected youth
Yeah.
who's got issues, who lives with his mum, and they have access to guns. He's known to be someone who spends a lot of time on the internet. Could he be a shooter? And then as the story unfolds, we begin to find out a bit more, and then I don't want to sort of give any details away to unfold it, but
Yep.
that's how it's sort of built up at the beginning, that and then but the desperate hour is basically she puts into her phone, there's an area where all the parents are told to go to this community centre, and the police will brief you about what's happening at this event. So,
Yep.
and she puts it in her phone. This is like, okay, so you're an hour away. So she calls like an Uber or the equivalent, and they say, well, okay, we're 20 minutes away. So basically she starts jogging towards this location,
Location.
going through the woods, and she has a few trips and spills, and she's on the phone to different people trying to say, like, okay, can you find out what's going on, can you tell me what's happening, on to the police, can you tell me what's happening? So you're hearing the whole story, a bit like the phone booth type thing, where
Oh, yeah.
it's basically Naomi Watts running through a woods, and then you begin to sort of, the other elements are introduced, but that's the
See,
basic premise.
oh yeah, no, no. I actually quite like films like this, and when they're done well, they are brilliant. Like there's a film called Searching dot dot dot, which was released a couple of years ago with John Cho, which I think is a modern classic. And essentially, the whole film is this guy trying to figure out what happened to his daughter. But the thing you see for the whole film is his computer screen. So the whole thing is his computer screen just goes around him talking to this person, sending this email, doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, I love films. I
Yeah.
love it when if they have this conceit and if they can maintain it and do it well, it's brilliant. So because we're trying not to give too much away, do they do it well?
Yes, I mean, in like some of these other films, they it went, I went, they sort of kept it realistic, and then one part of it, I just thought, I don't think that would happen. I just don't think that would happen. So they kept it real, and then you had this one sort of flight of fancy. To me, I
Yeah.
was like, that I probably would have had a bit more time for the film. So I think that did detract from it a little bit. But on the whole, Naomi Watts, I think she's always reliable, isn't she?
Yes, yes,
She
yes.
knows how to deliver. She knows how to deliver sort of like anguished mum, as
Mm.
we've seen in things like The Impossible and other films. She knows how to. She's very good at running. I mean, I'd give her due. She's been running for most of this hour, so she's certainly a good runner. And she's running whilst talking on the phone, which I don't know if you've ever tried running whilst talking on the phone. You like the
I,
phone, right? Like
I,
this.
I, I, I
Oh,
have done before. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Uh, quiet.
and there's even one bit when she's like texting and she's running along,
Ah!
and I I don't know
Sorry.
about you. I can't. I've got to stand still and I'm squinting, holding my glasses out the way, trying to text. So,
Uh,
all power to you if you can run and text at the same time. Crikey.
I have learned I've started learning how to push a pushchair with a baby in it and text at the same time. I I have learned from necessity, even though it's probably not a good idea. But I have gotten some of those skills.
So part of this, yeah. So enjoyed the film, good film. Yeah, with the one sort of flight of fancy that I found a little bit just beyond my credibility.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, the performances were solid. You only see her and maybe sort of two other people that she interacts with. The rest of people are like voice artists
On the phone, yeah.
or sort of edit some few extras that keep their social distancing. So there's very
Oh yeah.
little sort of personal interacting with anyone.
Oh yeah. Oh, like that Tom Hardy film, Lock.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
but
done, yeah. I thought for what it is, for the premise, it's done very well. I think part of it was it's obviously coming from a point of view as like the social commentary on this sort of event. And
yeah.
she's on one point she's on the phone to her daughter and she said, "Oh yeah, we did it. We acted like we did in our drill. We turned the lights out. We sort of hid. We did a duck and cover thing." And I think the sort of social commentary is like
This is
what sort
what
of work
school is like nowadays.
is what school is like, where you have to
Yeah.
learn how to respond to a live shooter event.
Yeah.
So I think there was a commentary on that, and I think it was clear that where they stood on that whole thing is like, do you know what we're putting our children through?
Yeah.
That particular culture, that children have that experience of going to school, is that it is not just swinging your school bag, going to school, having a happy day. They do drills for dealing with live shooter events.
Yeah. So how many
So
stars would you give it?
I would give it 3 stars. I thought, yeah, there's lots to like about it, but there's the odd thing that I thought, no, I can't see that ever happening
Mm.
without you actually getting prosecuted yourself. So I would give it 3.